How's it going? I'm a longtime fan of Dragon's Dogma, so of course, I had to buy the new game. I've played between 5 to 8 hours of the game so far, and I think I've seen enough to give a first impression now. So first things first, the most important part of the game, combat. So I have started as a thief, which is a dual dagger wielding rogue essentially. It's like the Strider from Dragon's Dogma 1, but no bow. Thief has skills like Shadow Cloak, Helm Splitter, Concussive Step, and Snare. All this stuff like centers around moving around a lot, avoiding attacks, and hitting weak points on bosses and enemies. You can even hit harpies in the sky too as well with stuff like Helm Splitter. So overall, very good at fighting and moving around a lot. You even have a dash button too to let you dodge stuff. I've gotten through quite a few encounters without taking any damage at all, so this is very good for that. And so far, I've used my main pawn as a sorcerer slash mage. From what I've seen, sorcerer has very good damage, and also the AI is better, so it actually moves around now and doesn't just like let themselves get hit like they did in the first game, so that's far better as well. They don't just constantly die. In fact, during a fight with an ogre, my sorcerer was the last people alive too as well. The archer died and the fighter died, but me and my sorcerer were still alive, so they're much more intelligent now as well in combat. Archers do have abilities to tie them down somewhat, but overall they are very mobile too. Especially when you consider that they have rapid fire now with their non-aiming too, so very useful. Like the first game, the mage is similar to the sorcerer, but overall definitely weaker. However, to supplement that, they have support magic too as well. They can shield you from attacks. They have heal as a core skill now rather than like an ability you slot in. They can also cure ailments, so they have a good permanent spot in your team typically, so remember to have one of them. I have yet to try a warrior or a fighter, but I have had fighters in my party and they're definitely essential. They hold the aggro very well and they have good skills, so remember to have one of them too. They're not super agile, but they are more so than they were in the first game, I think, so definitely good, an improvement, I think. Overall, combat's very good, but it was initially hard to get used to, especially with the keyboard and mouse controls. I might swap the controller, but I'm doing decent right now, so I'll just continue on with this. As far as enemies go, I've seen quite a few. Most of them from the first game. I've seen wolves, goblins, I've seen cyclops, I've seen ogres. Slimes are new, but I've seen them. Saurians, I've seen them as well. Overall, they fight much better than they did in the first game. They're actually more tactical now. Goblins will try to surround you and throw stuff at you constantly, so you need to stay on your toes with them. Wolves will actually move around a lot more, and you actually use your speed quite well, so you need to actually chase them around to actually get one of them. Cyclops are about the same. They're quite slow and pretty easy for me to beat, so no real challenge there at all. Ogres actually definitely more mobile. They can actually cling to ceilings now and like jump down and attack you. They can actually fling you around, grab you and run away, and overall, they're definitely an improvement over the first game. Not too many new enemies to fight so far, but I'd say the improvements for the old enemies are quite good, so hopefully I see more new stuff, but that remains to be seen. One thing from the first game that carried over and was improved upon is the survivability aspect as well. At nighttime, everything kicks up. The enemies there are stronger. There's new ones like the ghosts and also skeletons. They're more aggressive. They are hard to see as well because it's super dark outside. This effectively makes adventuring a race against the clock. Otherwise, you'll get overwhelmed with enemies and just end up dying with time. Also, your health will go down constantly whenever you fight and lose health. And only part of it will be recoverable, so you need to actually watch that and keep an eye on it. Otherwise, you'll have like no HP at all, so that's another important aspect as well. And to avoid that happening, you need to actually rest every now and then, either at an inn or at a campsite. So those are an integral part of the game. In 2 instances so far, I had myself like running back to camp at like full speed to actually get away from stuff. So it's definitely a good addition to the game, I think. As far as environments go, I've only seen the region that is similar to the first game, and it's called Vermund. I have seen lots of forests, I've seen ruins, I've been to like a beach area that had saurians there, as well as skeletons. I've also seen a minotaur at the ruins, which is a new enemy. I didn't fight it though because I'm a coward, but I will note that so far the caves have been pretty expansive. They're always like way deeper than you actually think they are, so that adds quite a bit to the game, I think, too. The city is far better too as well. A lot of verticality. Overall, just more places to go to, so big improvements there too. As I said before, the pawns are way smarter than they were before. They could now do cool tasks like loading up and getting chests for you, leading you to quests, collecting random items for you. They could do this before, but they do it with more immediacy now as well. You can even give your pawns unique modifiers too. One that I saw gives my pawn the ability to give me potions, or other members of my party potions as well, so you can actually heal that way, even if they're not a mage or whatever. Right now, I would say the main drawback of the entire game so far is the performance. I'm playing on PC with an RX 6700 XT, 32GB of RAM, and a Ryzen 7 3700X, I think. So, decent build. I can run most games at like 70 plus FPS, even with ray tracing on, but this game, it's like 40 to 50 is the max, even open world areas, but cities is like 20 to 30 FPS. Never good, always subpar, and it's a little bit annoying, but nothing crazy, honestly. I would say the performance so far brings it down like maybe 2 points overall, like in terms of review scores. So if your build is worse than mine, I suggest not buying it right now, but if it's equal to mine or better than mine, I would say consider getting it if it looks fun to you. Other than performance, everything in the sequel is improved from the first, including the quest and overall story. There's now time side quests too as well. I think there was some in the first game, but definitely far less if there was. And this gives much more immediacy to actually do things, which can keep you from doing things that waste your time, which some people might not like, but I think it's good. I'm not too far in the main story right now. I got to the main city. There are like a few quests there, and overall not too far, but I'm planning to continue on. And so far, the story is much more interesting than the first game. I like some parts of the first game, but the story wasn't very engaging at all until like the very end of it. The intro to this game is pretty engaging too as well. You start off as a slave in Batal, and within 5 to 10 minutes you escape and head back to Vermund. Overall an improvement, but the FPS issue is definitely making combat less fun, making exploring less fun, and overall weighing down the game. And that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, sub for more comment sessions. Any thoughts, questions, suggestions, comment down below and I'll respond. See ya.